Good morning everyone, my name is Hoa and today our group 6, will make a presentation about the topic merger and acquisition in Vietnam's retail industry and the case study between Vinmart and Shop&Go. To begin with, as you know, Vietnam's retail industry has experienced a significant surge in M&A deal in terms of both quantity and scope. So the purpose of our group will be to show you an overall picture of M&A activity in Vietnam and then provide you an insight into potential as well as the competitiveness in this billion-dollar industry. And then the second part, we will show you an analyzing case study between Vinmart and Shop&Go, one of the most outstanding deal in 2019. Based on this paper, our group divide the research paper in 3 parts. The first part is theoretical framework, and the second part is overview of M&A in Vietnam's retail industry, and then the case study between Vinmart and Shop&Go. The first part is theoretical framework. As we all learned about the definition of M&A in Microsoft Teams, so I will summarize it. I would have to say that there are many definitions of M&A, so I will tell you about the outstanding. First, M&A can be defined as a collision of 2 business entities in order to obtain a specific objective. Or M&A refers to the aspect of corporate strategy, finance and management dealing with the buying, selling and combining different companies. And then when one company takes over another and clearly establishes itself as a new owner and the purchase equal an acquisition. There are 3 main types of merger. The first type is horizontal merger. It occurs when 2 companies which make the same product combine. And the second type is vertical merger. It happens when a company merges with another company in different stages of production or distribution of the product. And the last is diversification or conglomerate merger. It occurs when a company acquires another company in an entirely different sphere. So we will know that whether M&A is pros or cons. So the answer is both. So there are some reasons for M&A. With regard to horizontal merger, it can help the company to reduce competition. Actually, when 2 companies merge with each other, they will reduce the competition by eliminating a competitor and may change the competitive environment. So the remaining firms could easily coordinate the price, the output, and other dimensions of competition. And the second reason is to achieve synergy and economies of scale. Obviously, when 2 companies merge with each other, they can reach to unreached market, so they can increase the demand of the products in this market. Furthermore, they can increase the market power. And the last reason for horizontal merger could be to achieve economies of scale. Economies of scale could provide the company with cost advantage. It means when they produce large quantity of product, they will reduce the cost of product because the average cost per unit may reduce and the profit will increase. Now we look at the vertical merger. It can reduce the cost. It can reduce the cost by improved operational efficiency, and the most outstanding is they can guarantee the supply and the cost of raw material and components. It means it is very beneficial when a manufacturer is difficult in finding the supply and or in case the raw material for production is expensive, and it will reduce the risk of delay and high cost. For example, if a car manufacturer combine with a tire company, they will reduce the quality production. And the last is to improve management efficiency. And reason for conglomerate merger or diversification merger. The reason is to create or maintain market power. It's beneficial and a means to implement price discrimination. However, there are many problems with M&A, so we summarize it in two outstanding problems, which is culture and integration difficulties. The first is culture. This is related to different views between partners, so it requires planning significantly and a high value at a try. And another problem is integration difficulty. And company must learn how to bring all the elements or components in an efficient way. So it's required to plan significantly. And now, our friend will make a presentation about this session.
Thank you all for such an informative opening for our presentation. Now, let's move on to the next part, M&A in Vietnam's retail industry between 2014 to 2019. We have 4 parts here. The first one is on overview of the retail industry in Vietnam. The second is on situation on M&A transactions of retail industry. The third one is outstanding M&A deal in Vietnam's retail industry. And the last one is on M&A trend in the retail industry. Let's jump straight into the overview. With the fastest growing middle class in Southeast Asia, Vietnam has been experiencing phenomenal growth rate in its retail sector, and much higher than the average in other regions such as Cambodia, Philippines, and Brunei. This trend looks set to continue into the future, and indeed, the rise of e-commerce and digital retail channels is one of the top trends to watch. By 2025, Vietnam's e-commerce market size is expected to be second only to Indonesia in the Southeast Asia region. Now, let's take a look at this chart on retail revenue and growth in Vietnam from 2014 to 2020. We can see that from 2014 to 2019, the retail sector recorded a compound annual growth rate, which is CAGR of 11%. And retail sales in Vietnam have constantly increased in the past few years, from 96 billion USD in 2014 to 107 to 116, and aiming for 180 billion USD in 2020. And the growth rate is also expected to nearly double in value, reaching 27%. Now, so what are the factors leading to this positive growth in retail industry in Vietnam? Firstly, population of over 90 million that has been forecasted to reach nearly 100 million in 2024. A median age of 32.5 and urban population share of 35 or 92%. So the first 3 factors show that Vietnam has a great opportunity for growth rate in terms of consumer strength. And the next factor is that monthly income per capita has more than doubled in the past 8 years, possibly explaining the increasing household consumption expenditure. And according to GSO, which is General Statistics Office, the value of wholesale and retail in Vietnam accounts for more than 14% of GDP, making retail one of the 6 sectors that attracts most attention of foreign investors. Now, this is the chart on annual growth and percent market share of purchasing channel. We can see that the retail landscape of Vietnam is dominated by traditional trade channels, 77.8%, such as traditional markets, street shops, and so on. Despite having the most traditional retail landscape, Vietnam shows a huge opportunity for modern trade and e-commerce. According to a report of Nielsen, the Vietnamese retail market is unique. While the traditional retail channel accounts for 77.8%, but the growth rate is very slow, only 1%. And meanwhile, modern retail accounts for only 17.4% of the market share, but is growing double digits at 11.8%. In recent years, there has been an explosion in modern trade and e-commerce channel, and with the players offering different kinds of retail formats. And some of the notable developments can be found in commercial centers, convenience stores, and digital platforms. When it comes to commercial centers, according to GSO, there are nearly 200 commercial centers operated by both domestic and foreign players, and they accommodate a variety of different facilities, including entertainment and shopping options. We can name some of the conglomerates such as Aeon, Lotte, and Vinmart. About convenience stores, which are becoming strong and direct competitors of traditional trade channels, as they offer consumers close proximity and greater convenience. And across Vietnam, the number of convenience stores has quadrupled since 2012, and mini markets accounted for the most number of store openings in the first 9 months of 2018. According to estimates, Vietnam's growth in convenience stores is expected to outperform many neighboring countries with a CAGR of 37.4% from 2017 to 2021. And the last one is digital platforms, which are also emerging in the retail market, with players such as Lazada, Shopee, and Mobile World. And the revenue in e-commerce market amounts to 3,385 million USD in 2020, and is expected to show a CAGR of 7.1%, resulting in a market volume of 4,452 million USD by 2020. So after having an overview of the retail industry in Vietnam, let's take a deeper look in situation on M&A transactions of retail industry in Vietnam from 2014 to 2019. From 2008 to 2018, the M&A value recorded a CAGR of 21%. The M&A deals are focusing on industrial goods and services, construction and materials, retail and real estate. And as it mentioned before, retail is one of the strongly developing industry in Vietnam. So M&A market in this industry, it has been also very exciting in recent years. Let's take a look at this chart on Vietnam M&A total deal value and number of deals in retail sector. We can see that during the 5-year period from 2014 to the first 6 months of 2019, a new record high was set in M&A activities in retail Vietnam in 2016, with a big jump in total deal value of 1,063 million USD. And this figure reveals that a deep fall in the average deal size, and it seems that the retail investors are become more cautious in their M&A transactions. So the next part will be presented by Thu Ha. So I will leave the stage for her.
Hi teacher, after that I talk about some outstanding M&A deals in the Vietnam retail industry from 2014 to 2019. With population of 96 million, the consumer goods group is considered as a more attractive industry for investors, not only from domestic but also from abroad. The acquisition of consumer goods is not only the acquisition of brand, but also the acquisition of distribution network to access the market chain. That is the reason why over past year, a series of great M&A deal in the consumer goods industry have been carried out. Therefore, I want to talk some big M&A deal in Vietnam from 2014 to 2019. Firstly, the M&A deals cannot be considered which is the which is the acquisition between the Thai Paper's company and Saigon Pier Corporation with a value of 4.8 billion USD. This is the highest value belonging to green sector in Vietnam. That M&A deal will happen in 2017. In that year, in April, another M&A deal will happen, which is the acquisition between the Earth Chemical, Japan Chemical Group and Amazon Stock Company. Japan Group bought 100% capital of Amazon Stock, which is a business specializing domestic chemical trading. In next year, the SK Group in Korea invest to Masan Group. SK Group in Korea officially invested 417 million USD to buy treasury share to own 9.5% of Masan Group share. The deal includes the transfer of company that own emerging local brands along with a market share of certain Thai food. In addition, besides the M&A between Minh Phu and MBM, MBM is a corporation of seafood in Japan. Minh Phu sold 30% of charter capital to MBM investment. In addition, there are also domestic M&A deals performed by Vietnamese business such as Masan, Kaido, Vinmart spent more than 1,000 billion to buy 38.24 of charter capital of GTM Food. After acquisition, the revenue of company was have been increasing. According to a research of M&A market, the researcher gave conclusion of M&A trend in the retail industry. The retail industry continued to the target of investors because of the high growth rate and high demand of consumer. But M&A from a business to another business have also limitation because it depends on the economy, the policy, the political, and so especially in early 2020, COVID-19 pandemic has contained seriously to economy in every country. Therefore, investment from abroad to Vietnam have been decreasing in earlier 2020. To understand more about merger and acquisition, we analyze the case between the Vinmart and Shop&Go. The case were analyzed by Chang and Ngọc.
And thank you, Hà much. And as I said, I am here to take my part to give you the overview about the two parties in this M&A and the buyer and the seller. The buyer, Vincommerce, belongs to Vingroup, and I'm sure that all of you here just have heard at least one time about the name Vingroup or the similar brand name like Vinfast, Vinmart, Vincom, Vinpro, right? And now, just know more about the Vincommerce here, the main character in the buyer position of this M&A. First, about the Vingroup, it is known as the Technicom Corporation, was founded in 1993 in Ukraine, and its business started in Vietnam with two key brands, Vincom and Vinpears. In 2012, Vincom, Jesse, and Vinpears Jesse merged with each other, so the Vingroup is complete. And about the Vincommerce, it is a subsidiary of Vingroup, was established in 2010, and it is also come with their own success in its business. Vincommerce was established. It is specialized in retail of customer goods through a system of supermarket and convenience stores. And as the slide, you can see that Vincommerce has a successful business. It was in the top two typical Vietnamese brand products and services in 1970 and awarded by the Ministry of Industry and Trade. And before this acquisition, Vincommerce owns over 100 Vinmart supermarkets and just about 1,800 Vinmart Plus convenience stores. A big number, right? Yeah. And now, so please remember it. So we now just later we can compare two parties, the buyer and the seller, and you can see the red thing. And the other main characters is the seller. Shop&Go belongs to Good and Life Jesse. About the Good and Life Jesse is was established in 2005, and Vincommerce in 2010. Okay, so you can compare that. Vincommerce was established after 5 years compared to the seller, Shop&Go. Okay, but you can see the number. You have a big gap, right? A big gap. Just after 9 years, it reached over 100 supermarkets and near 2,000 convenience stores, compared to Shop&Go's after 14 years, it just reached 87 stores, including Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. Yeah? And of course, a big gap, and so that's why you can imagine the reason why we have this M&A, right? And now, back to Shop&Go. Shop&Go follows a convenience store model with 24/7 operation, selling customer goods, fast food, and mixed drinks. Yeah, something like that. And okay, so now is the overview about the two parties, and now we move on the process. Both two parties keep secret about the process. We just have the basic information like that. Okay, a specific time on April 2nd. Vingroup announced that it will receive the transfer of 87 Shop&Go stores at the price of $1. Okay, $1. Maybe, of course, if you wonder why $1 US dollar, it is so cheap. Is that the real price or the single link number. And to explain this number, Good and Life GSC representative said, we have invested a great big deal in the Shop&Go system, but the results are not as expected. And as we all know that the retail market, Vietnam retail market has potential space to exploit, but the competition is so tight and so stiff. So we decided to retreat, and we also see that Vingroup has proven its super priority. So we donate this system for Vingroup to invest and develop. Yeah, I said that. So actually, you and me do not the real price, just on the deal. Okay, so special, right? And now just announce time and the price, and after that the M&A will be conducted. We start by the exit. After the merger, Shop&Go store will be upgraded in all aspects, from the infrastructure facility, about the goods, about the staff, as well as the management mechanism. According to Vingroup standard, yeah, and follow this acquisition, you can see that it will be complete on April 2019. Okay, remember, it's so short, right? Yeah. And to know more about the region and the state and the business status of two parties before the acquisition, my teammate now will help us, all of us, to know more about and bring it all together. We have a whole and the perfect picture of this M&A.
Thank you, Chang, for about overview of parties, merger, and acquisition. Now we will move on to analyze pre-merger. And the first one is pre-merger Shop&Go. Shop&Go first store opened in 2006 in Ho Chi Minh. Considered as one of the pioneering brands, Shop&Go was born in the context of user still seeing convenience store as a place to sell luxury goods, because the selling price is always compared with traditional market. So user at that time was not ready to pay more for the convenience factor. And in 2010, Shop&Go was still the convenience store chain with the largest network in Vietnam. By 2013, this chain had reached 100 stores, while the other competitor has less than 30 stores. The speed of opening convenience store and mini supermarket in Vietnam has increased by 200% per year. According to the statistics of the Department and Industry and Trade of Ho Chi Minh City, by the end of 2014, the city has only 326 convenience stores, and by the end of March 2018, it had reached over 1,000 stores, and an increase of 3 times. You can see the Shop&Go financial statement in 2016. This system has reached 267 billion dong in revenue and nearly 40 billion dong in loss, with no profit for a long time. By the end of 2016, Shop&Go has accumulated loss of 205 billion in loss, with the authorized capital was only 1.27 billion. Yeah. before selling with the price $1, Shop&Go also try its best to tempt buyers model to develop purchase as long as the trader has available premises and certain amount of capital. Shop&Go will cooperate by supplying consulting service about model, customer, push and set up service. However, developing store is not a solution that helps this system could be survived. Yeah. Next is pre-merger Vinmart. After 3 years after operation from November 2014 to November 2017, according to Vietnam Report statistics, Vinmart Supermarkets and Vinmart Plus J-Store was in top 2 retailer which are most taught by the consumer, and in 2017, the retail system owned up to 65 Vinmart supermarkets and about 1,000 Vinmart Plus stores, covering nearly 30 provinces with a total business area of more than 300,000 square meters and the number of employees about 11,000 people. You can see in the chart the store number of some retail chains in September 2019. The retail store of Vinmart in Vinmart Plus is more than 2,600 stores, and as a retailer with the largest number of selling points in Vietnam, but the business performance of Vinmart retail chains has reached break-even point. In 2018, the pre-tax loss by retail division was more than 5,000 billion, and the loss in 2017 was also nearly 4,000 billion. The loss is explained by the reason that the business is investing in the investment and economic process. And so why Shop&Go and Vinmart decide to merge? There are two main reasons: is to increase the system coverage and merger between two domestic enterprises. For the first reason, increase the system coverage. Acquiring small chain bring to Vingroup two great benefits. Is increasing market coverage and increasing market share. The principle of successful retail system is coverage and customer satisfaction, and Vingroup is in the state of focusing on developing its coverage. They are also continuing to analyze retail potential, customer satisfaction, product and the side investment areas. And the retail market is still on the rise. Many models have not been explored. According to Mr. Phạm Đình Đoàn, chairman of Futai Group, a unit with more than 20 years operating in Vietnam retail sector, each model requires 300 to 500 stores in accordance with the standard condition of convenience store. If the convenience store model developed in a right format, even at a loss, the investor will still be able to sell it to a foreign investor. Any foreign retail investment, any foreign retailer jumping into Vietnam market need to go through a planned loss process, which means that require investment in the short term and then develop and make profit. If they acquire retail chains that are available in the market, they will take advantage of existing premises and saving time for market operation. And Vinmart has realized the distribution system play an important role to develop retail store. After private release in October in 2018, Vinmart retail chain was officially wiped out because of Vingroup purchase of 100% share. So at the time of its acquisition, Vinmart had 23 nationwide supermarkets, and after buying Shop&Go, Vinmart owned 87 stores. So Shop&Go store after merger will be converted and upgrade in all aspects according to the standard of Vinmart and Vinmart Plus. The second reason is merger between two domestic enterprises. While many foreign business want to invest into Vietnam, the owner of Shop&Go convenience store would sell 87 stores at a higher price to foreign business, but he actively asked for transfer the entire chain of store to commercial company for $1. It can be just after M&A deal of Big C Vietnam and Central Group of Thailand. Thai was replaced Thailand replaced Vietnam goods in supermarkets, whereas Lotte is mainly Korean product and Passion is full of Malaysian brands. Therefore, Good and Line JSC to Vin Commercial to address their target to develop domestic market and protect domestic brand. In the other hand, Vingroup mission is building the largest retail platform which operates to international standard and especially gain market share for Vietnamese companies. It also supported domestic supplier to grow through its distribution network. And post-merger, Vin Commercial continues to affirm its leading position in the retail markets with 108 Vinmart supermarkets and about nearly 2,000 Vinmart Plus convenience stores nationwide. With a system more than 2,000 points of sale, Vin Commercial system currently far surpasses other companies in the same industry such as Saigon Coke, about 120 point of sale or 5% of mobile world, nearly 900 stores or Circle about 300 stores. Okay, then Hoa will have some conclusion about my presentation.
In our presentation, our group show you an overall picture of M&A activities in Vietnam and then provide you insight to potential as well as the competitiveness in Vietnam's retail industry. And then we focus on analyzing one of the most outstanding cases in Vietnam in 2019, which is Vinmart and Shop&Go. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you.